Good evening, I'm Lee Anderson. It was a full house at Redmond High School tonight as hundreds of community members gathered for a Redmond school board meeting. Alec Nolan was there tonight and joins us with the details. Alec?
Lee, this was just hours after Governor Kate Brown announced and defended her new state mask mandate for all indoor public spaces. The board brought in attorney Greg Colvin to discuss legal ramifications for those who decide not to wear a mask. Colvin says the highest penalty for not following mandates would be for educators who willfully do not wear a mask in a school setting. The Oregon Department of Education's director, COLT GILL, also joined the discussion over Zoom.
Today we set a new record for the number of hospitalizations and ICU bed fills, and that record is set over yesterday's record. So we're really in this dire situation in the state of Oregon in caring for not only our COVID patients, but people who are ill, have a heart attack, have an accident, and need that hospital care.
As I mentioned earlier, this virus is a lot more contagious than respiratory disease, and we see that it's very similar to what we see with chickenpox.
Some in the crowd booed, calling the data presented in the auditorium fake, and one person said the vaccine is poison. Others said they wanted to see studies that prove masks work. During the public comment section, students and parents alike spoke out against mask mandates, while others supported it.
Last year, my transfer into 6th grade was unbearable. Having to wear a mask, I felt trapped. More than half of my face was covered. I'm a very social student, and with masks, it made it pretty difficult for me to connect with teachers and other students. When I was in school, wearing a mask, it caused me lots of anxiety from worrying about my mask falling down, and it really affected my learning.
What about the student whose parents believe masks is not useful and infringe on those rights we choose? Most likely, those students will have problems with adhering to the mask mandate. In the schools, these students commingle, and it leads to a struggle in the classroom. We have students that have never been disciplined before, being called out for improper mask wearing by teachers and support staff. This causes embarrassment and frustration of these students.
Science tells us that the two best things we can do to minimize COVID and to shorten the impact of this crisis is to get vaccinated and to wear a mask. In other words, make a sacrifice for the betterment of our community. Yet we have a large segment of people who believe that it violates their individual liberty and in some cases, erroneously, their constitutional rights. The longer we put off trying to stop COVID, the better chance that a more mutated strain could develop, including the potential for ones that are resistant to the vaccine.
Transmission is also greatest with prolonged indoor close contact, making the school setting without interventions especially high risk. If masks are removed during periods of high transmission, such as now, our common goal of keeping children in the classroom will fail.
The vast majority of the public comments tonight wanted masks to be optional for students and teachers. In a majority vote, the board decided to form a resolution for their next meeting in 2 weeks to try and bring local control back to the district to make masks optional. But Superintendent Dr. Sharon Klein says the board does not have the power to change the state mandate. Lee, back to you.